Well, morning and welcome to another Follow Up Friday. A little bit different today. I have pre-recorded this. I'm going to be honest with you today, and you can see behind me I've got the green screen as well. What I'm doing today is I'm actually going to give you an insight to some work I'm doing with a client. You won't know who the client is, and I'm not going to say who they are, etc. But I'm actually just going to film some of the work I'm doing. I'm doing some follow-up work with a client, and we are looking at some of the email marketing, and I thought it'd be really good just for you to get a little bit of an insight of what we're looking at and the way that you can use email marketing as well for your following up. So you're going to be joining in on the call today. Bits of it will be edited out, but you're joining in on that call just to get a feel of weekly meetings, weekly follow-ups, and to start to see how the system comes together. So you're going to join me in a few moments. Yeah, that's right, absolutely. So yes, a couple of days ago we sent out that email, and what I thought it would be really good to do is just to go through those stats and also just reflect on the last one as well, and just to see the work that you've been doing to make sure you followed that up. So in terms of that, obviously we've sent out the email. We've done it as an email newsletter. Thought I'd just run through some of those stats as well, and then what we're just going to do in terms of that. Yeah, okay, so when I'm looking at that, so we've had that open rate, reasonable open rate compared to others, so particularly this time of year, so 23.7 open rate. So we've got those open, so we've got 207 in terms of those people who've actually opened it. Looking at that click-through rate, which is nice and high, so we've got 22 unique clicks come through from 22 different people. So the question is now, so we've done that bit, and obviously we did the tweaks on the website to make sure that we had those landing pages in place. So let's just look at it now and then just decide who's going to do those follow-ups. So we've obviously had those 22 unique clicks, and just go into those now. And so we've got them across 4 of the key areas. So 4 of the key areas that we put the 2 of them we put the landing pages in. So what we want to be able to do now is, from your perspective, this is the bit I want to task you for. Yeah, absolutely. So if we're tasking that now, what I want you to do now is to be able to follow up on those. I think there are a couple there that are to do with the show. We'll follow those up on the phone calls just to get them to the show, obviously with the invite that's there. The other 3 though, if you want to have a look through those, we'll discuss those in a moment, but what I want you to do is, between now and the end of this week, I want you to have been able to get on the phone or email those people, and obviously we know the strategy on that. We're not going to say we know what you've clicked on, but it's a good opportunity to follow up on that one. So we've got those 3 key areas, and within those we've got 8, 12, 14. So we've got 18 that we've got there. Okay, so we've got 18 separate clicks from those individuals. So I'd like you to task yourself to get on the phone or to email those, and obviously I'll share those with you in a moment. And if you can get on and do those, and then we can make sure that we follow that up. So when we do our call next Tuesday, we can make sure that we've done those by this Friday. So it's really key, and what I'm really interested in now is making sure that you can do those. As I said, we'll pick up those 3 or 4 now for the exhibition and push those in. I think what I'm really pleased with is the open rate has gone up, and certainly the click-through rate has gone up, and I think those, particularly 2 of those announcements that are within that newsletter, I think are really key. I think we also made the right decision as well, just making sure that we keep these newsletters on a bi-monthly basis. I think we were just probably overpowering your particular audience, probably just going for the one, but I think now what we're seeing over the past 6 months is that bi-monthly is definitely working. So again, we want to make sure that works. I think we'll move on shortly. We'll move into looking at the Google Analytics, and then just seeing where we can see the comparisons as well in terms of what's happened over the last week. So we'll move on to those in a moment. So it gave you a little bit of an insight today. Informative, hopefully. It was just showing how I was working with a customer there. We use email marketing as one of the strategies, and I've spoken about that in my follow-up Fridays. And when we're looking at that, make sure with email marketing, whatever you're doing and anything you're doing, email marketing, websites, social media, make sure you're tracking everything. Make sure you're using data to its best. Data is great if you know what to do with it, but you should be tracking it. There I was talking with our particular customer. I was talking through a number of things. We were talking about the email marketing marketing. We were talking about who was going to take responsibility for doing some of the follow-ups, and also then as well looking at the stats in terms of that. And we had some really key landing pages, so we didn't just send out a newsletter willy-nilly. It actually had some key landing pages that we can track. We can also see who went onto them, and from that we can then follow them up. So you should really be thinking about all the different metrics that are there. Shared a little bit with you today, and also as I've also said to a number of you who've actually messaged me, actually going to open up a little bit more, so you can start to join in our Monday calls as well, which are much more generic. So got some Monday calls, and you'll be able to take part in those as well. Again, you know, just get into what you're doing. Make sure you're doing those follow-ups. Make sure you can push through on those, and join me again next Friday. But I hope you enjoyed just a little insight into what's going on, and also just pushing forward with clients, and just giving some stats on email marketing, and make sure you start to integrate that into your mix if it works. So have a great weekend. Again, it's been a nice shorter week for a lot of you, and enjoy your weekend. And I really feel that next week onwards we suddenly get back into lots and lots of business.